Hello everybody, welcome to my channel once again, Life Beyond Vision. My name is Diego, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story behind my customized soccer shoes. I also hope everybody's enjoying the World Cup in Russia 2018. Vamos Mexico. Yep, number 14, Chicharito, the top scorer of the Mexico national soccer team. So hopefully he's scoring some goals and helping us out. But anyways, let's get started with this video. So in 2008, during my sophomore year soccer season, I was in need of new shoes. I had been wearing my old red Nikes, these right here, for the longest. I believe I got them since like 8th grade or so. Yeah, they're pretty big. I think they're size 13. But I mean, I'm 6'1", so I would look weird with small shoes. But anyways, so I really needed new soccer shoes. So I started looking around, you know, what kind of style I wanted, what kind of color and all that stuff, because it is important. But then I came upon a website where you could customize your own soccer shoes. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I had been saving up some money, so I was like, you know what, might as well spend it on something I'm gonna enjoy. So I went on Nike and I got myself these beauties right here. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do close-ups because nobody's helping me with the camera. But anyways, I'm trying my best. Hopefully y'all can see it. This is my left shoe right here. They're Mexico inspired, so they have the eagle, the outline of an eagle head right here on the outside in the middle of the shoe. As you can see, it has a red Nike on the front. I believe they're like the style is called Mercury or Mercurio, something like that. Can't remember. And then in the back of the ankle, it has my name, so it has Diego right here on the outside. And then it also has the red and green stripe going around, kind of like hugging the bottom part of the ankle, and then it goes underneath the shoe as well. And then it has really good ankle support inside, right? That's the right one. I mean left one. And then this is the right shoe. This one has my middle name on it. It has Ivan, and it's the same thing, you know, red and green. And the head of the eagle on the outside, as you can see. It's all white, right? So it's all white. Beautiful, love it, so excited. So when I got my shoes, I was super excited. I was super excited to use them, but also they were so special that I was like, I don't want to use them too much. I want to make sure they last. So I only decided to use them during official games, right? So not during practice. During practice, I still use my old red shoes, but I would only use these during actual games, right? So during the tournament, and I only got to use them 4 times. Because that sophomore year we made it to the quarterfinals and we lost in the quarterfinals, sadly. But it was one of the best seasons I've had. Shout out to my coach, Mr. Kerr. He's I was only 15 at the time, but he had been one of like the best coaches I ever had. And I also believe at that time I was like at the top shape, like at my prime moment in terms of like soccer. And so once that the quarterfinal game finished, it was a sad moment. But also it was kind of cool, and I was excited because the varsity coach came up to me and congratulated me on like how I played, and he had seen how hard I had been working, and he told me, you know what, Diego, you keep it up, you're gonna be in the varsity team next year. And so I was super excited for that. I was super excited that next year I would be in the varsity soccer team. And so I thought to myself, you know what, Diego, you keep on working hard, right? So I remember that day I got home, I would always clean my cleats and then put them away. And I was like, you know what, next year, during that junior year, you're going to wear these shoes more. You're going to start wearing them since the beginning of the tournament. And, you're going to get a good use out of them, right? So I put them away, just excited for that following year. And I remember those words that the coach had told me. And I, knowing that I was going to be in the varsity team, I was like, I need to be in my top shape. That's why I also decided to sacrifice that summer and not go to Mexico on vacation and just stay back, right? As I mentioned in my first video, that I would go train on my own, and I would like practice my corner shots, practice, my free kicks, and just like run around and do conditioning on my own. But unfortunately, as I also mentioned in that video, that's also when I lost my vision, right? So I missed that whole next junior year soccer season, and basically the senior season as well. So it was a sad moment for me, right? Like, not only did I not get to play soccer anymore, that's junior year, but it's also, my shoes, I didn't even get to use them anymore. And so it was, for those 2 reasons, it was sad, right? And so we move along, and in 2010, right after after my junior year, I still played soccer. Well, actually not after my junior year, but like during the springtime in 2010, I would still go and play soccer with my friends. You know, I started going with them, and we would go play. They knew I couldn't see, but they didn't really quite understand how much, or to the extent that I couldn't see, right? And so sometimes I would bump into them by accident, or sometimes I would honestly not see them, as I mentioned in like the bicycle video, that sometimes things would appear out of nowhere. And so I remember one time I like almost broke my friend's jaw. Not really, but I bumped into him pretty hard, and like I hit his jaw. So Ed, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But you know, nonetheless, I still played. You know, I didn't want to let go of soccer. You know, like I was like, no, no, I can't. I already can't play in the team. You know, I still have to enjoy it, right? And so other things that would happen was I couldn't see like the holes in the ground sometimes, or the uneven ground. So sometimes I would trip out of nowhere in a way. So I looked kind of clumsy. Other things that would happen is like when the ball got lost in the bushes, or towards where the trees were in the park, like I would sometimes bump into the trees with my head because I'd be looking down and trying to like find the ball. But you know, I really didn't want to let go of soccer, right? Despite all that. And so towards the end of the 2010 summer, like right off starting like my senior year, I was playing in the park with some friends, right? I was playing in the park with some friends, and we were playing in the soccer field, right? And let's say, you know, to explain to you guys exactly what happened, we're playing from, so the soccer field, the soccer goals, the actual soccer field is from left to right, right? And my left hand is the goal, and then the right hand's the other goal. Well, we were only playing at half court, but we were playing vertical, right? So from like where the camera is to where I'm at. And so we were just playing there. We had like the backpacks as goals or whatever. And so we were just playing like that. And there were some other people playing in the court, I mean, in the soccer field, whether it was soccer, or there were some guys playing catch with a football, right? And so we're playing soccer, and all of a sudden, during the course of the game, one of my friends sends me a through ball right down the right side, right? And so I start running behind the ball at full speed. So 6'1", 200 pounds, just running at full speed, just right down the line, you know, right after our ball. And so I'm looking straight at the ball, which is, you know, me looking down at the ground. And all of a sudden I see something appear, and all I have time for is to just like put my hands up and just like push, right? What happened was the one guy that was playing catch with a football, they were playing from my left to my right, and they were kind of playing on the edge of where we were playing soccer. So again, I didn't see him there because I was concentrating on the ball, and my field of vision wasn't, you know, big enough to notice the things around me. That I ran at him full speed, and I pushed him, and I basically pushed him, maybe like threw him about 3 or 4 feet, you know, from where he was. The poor guy was like suffocated, like out of breath. He was trying to catch his breath. I guess he was scared. I was a little bit in shock. I was like, what the hell was that? And then I went and I picked him up, and I was like, you know, I'm sorry, I apologized. You know, he said, you know, I guess, you know, I told him I didn't see him. In reality, I really didn't see him. And so, you know, luckily he was okay. I was okay, and nothing happened. You know, it just stayed at that. But after that, I began to be more cautious. I began to just like pass the ball more. I began to not run at full speed. I began to just shoot from far. So, you know, it just stuck with me, you know, right? That event stuck with me. That situation, that event just stuck with me. And so I got home, and I couldn't get that image out of my head for the rest of the week. And from time to time, it would come to me where like I crashed into this dude, and, you know, something could have happened worse, right? And exactly what, like with my bike, I always thought, I don't care if I get hurt, I'm gonna keep on playing soccer. I can't let go of this. And so, you know, that kept on, you know, staying with me. I didn't really tell anybody else about that at the moment, but it stayed with me. Like, man, I can't, you know, I could have like hurt the guy. I could have hurt myself, right? And so little by little, I began to like, you know, tell myself, you know what, Diego, I think you're gonna have to let soccer go. And, you know, it was one of the difficult conversations I had with myself, but it was like, you know, Diego, you gotta be a little bit more reasonable, you know, like, you know, the other guy could have gotten hurt. you know, something could have happened there, but also like you could have gotten hurt, right? I could have, I don't know, like broken something too, right? Like, or not even just in that situation. I could have started thinking about other situations, right? Where like, and I could trip and, you know, injure myself in another way. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you're already going blind, Diego. You don't need to be impaired in some other way, right? Like with a hand or with a leg or something else. So I remember, you know, I had those thoughts just coming into me, and I didn't want to listen to them. I just didn't. I didn't want to listen to them. I was like, no, I'm still gonna play soccer. I don't care. So this was just all internal, me talking to myself, right? But it came to a point where I told myself, no, you gotta let go. You gotta let go, Diego. And at the time, I was already super interested in psychology, and you know, I had read a lot about, you know, some like things that symbolize something, or just, you know, something that's physical that symbolizes like letting go of something or whatever. So I remember one day, towards that like end of 2010, I went to my room and I grabbed my shoes. I grabbed my boxers, my shoes, my soccer shoes. I put them on one last time. You know, I just put them on for a while and just walked around my room with these on, and just, you know, reminisced in my soccer memories. Just, you know, whether it was like when I was younger, whether if it was, you know, that soccer season. And then I grabbed my soccer shirt. This is the soccer shirt we wore that freshman year in college. Freshman year in high school, we were the Falcons, number 35. No, I was a freshman, so we didn't really get too much say in the numbers, but at least I got a jersey. And I remember I grabbed the jersey and I folded it up and I put it away in the box, right? I put it away in the box. Then I also took out my shoes, and I also put my shoes in the box. And then once I had that, I closed my box, and it was a sad moment, you know, like as I was doing all this, I was like, man, Diego, are you really doing it, right? Like, are you really gonna let go of soccer? And so I put the box in my closet in the top shelf, all the way in the back. And that to me symbolized two things, right? Number one, just like with the blue light that I had lost hope when I turned it off, this box in a way kind of brought a little bit of hope back, right? I told myself, you know what, Diego, you wore these shoes 4 times. The next time you wanted to wear them was that junior year in varsity, right? But that didn't happen, right? And so, you know, I had a little bit of hope that, you know, maybe the next time I wear my shoes is going to be when I'm able to wear them again in a soccer field, right? So I guess I had the thought that, you know, something could happen, a miracle or something, where I could get my vision back and I'm going to be able to play soccer again. So it symbolized that, but it also symbolized I have to let go of soccer. I had to start letting it go, and it's not going to be easy, and I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but it was something that had to happen, right? And I just had to tell myself, you know what, Diego, just because you're letting go of soccer doesn't mean you're going to stop loving it, doesn't mean you're going to stop having passion for it. It just means you're going to have to stop physically playing it and find a different way of enjoying soccer, right? And so it was one of the most difficult moments for me, and, you know, I'll be honest, it didn't happen right away. It wasn't like I put the box away and I was like, okay, I'm done with soccer, let's move on. But it was something where it began, right? That's where it began for me, the reality that, you know what, Diego, we're gonna have to stop playing soccer. And so that's where I decided to start letting go of soccer. In the next video, I'll share a little bit more of like what happened after this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying the World Cup, as I know I am. Thank you for watching, and I'll have a new video up for you guys soon.